Sorry we're late. What are you doing? Yorihime was picking at Luna's hair like she was a monkey.
葉っぱなどのゴミがついていたので取っているんです。
She really was picking at her hair. Why are there leaves in her hair? That's what I was gonna say. How did you get so many leaves in your hair? I took a closer look at Luna, and she was not only had a bunch of junk in her hair, but she was quite frazzled too. Did something happen?
猫の生態を観察していたです。
I was like thinking of leaves in the trees, but no, it was from the fucking bushes. Cat?
生垣に頭を突っ込んだところで見失ったです。残念。
Now I see.
はい、綺麗になりましたよ。ありがとう。待って。ゴミが取れても髪が乱れているから。
Yorihime pulled out a comb from a case in her bag.
じっとしていてね。
Luna didn't seem concerned enough to fix her hair on her own. But her hair seemed well maintained. It had a beautiful luster and flowed like water between Yorihime's fingers.
あら、その櫛素敵ね。重機と一緒に買い揃えました。桜の蒔絵が施されていて、私もお気に入りなんです。
Yorihime proudfully held it out for us to see. I had no knowledge about these things, but even I could sense its value.
蒔絵ってなんだっけ？
漆を塗った上に金粉銀粉を巻きつけて絵模様を表現した伝統工芸ですな。
And then the next question is, what's lacquer?
休館長に教えられちゃったよ。
That miner knows more than all of us, I'd wager.
笑ってるし、どんな鳥だ？
Trick question, it's not a bird.
こちらは？ああ、自己紹介遅れました。私、ゆうなの友達の渋谷めぐみです。2年 C 組です。
Shibuyan headed off to the restroom right after the ceremony, so she didn't see Yorihime with us before.
はじめまして。私、3年 A 組の宮古より姫と申します。よろしくお願いいたします。
Her real name was Yorihime Mitsuno Dama, but it was shortened for her class registration. Probably because you couldn't fit her full name on the piece of paper.
学年とクラスを合わせて名乗れるなんて、なんだか新鮮な感じで嬉しいです。え？新鮮？あ、いえ。
Yorihime laughed after her vague answer, but Shibuyan didn't follow up.
それからこちらが新入生のルルちゃんです。はじめまして。はじめましてです。私はルルーナ。
No last name.
ルルちゃんも外国から来たんだ。うん。遠い星から来たです。
No, don't play off as a toonie, okay? That's...
そうなんだ。
God damn it, now they're gonna think you're weird. Then you act. She was puzzled, but once again, didn't pry further. It was clear by this point, she just assumed they all had their reasons.
で、この後どうするの？ご飯でも食べようよ。ご飯、私、油ぎっとりのハンバーガーがいい。
I could go for... God damn it, Karen, You've made me hungry too.
この後、ルルちゃんの入学式があるから。そうよ。
かりんったらすぐに忘れるんだから。
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter that much, right?
お腹が減って頭が働かなくなっちゃったよ。いつものことでしょ。なんだよ。
He snarled, but apparently lacked the energy to start fighting.
じゃあ入学式が終わったらみんなで、せっかくだし。先に言っておくけど、私油ぎっとりのハンバーガーは嫌よ。
Yeah, we know.
うまいじゃんあれ。こうお腹の底から元気が湧き上がってくるような感じでさ。どうかしらね。
我が輩も肉の塊はちとこ飲みませんな。
ドーラはひまわりの種でも食ってればいいじゃん。はは、冷たいなりよかりん殿。
What do you mean? You were bragging about getting sunflower seeds before. What do you mean?
私もハンバーガーよりは甘露亭の方がいいかな。せっかくだし。じゃあ甘露亭にしよう。毎度あり。
I mean, considering that they live right next to you, I wouldn't be surprised. As we continued chatting, we started seeing new students and their parents here and there.
なんだか去年思い出しちゃうよね。
Yeah. My parents were too busy to attend, but Yuchan's dad was here. He was in a suit uncharacteristically, and kept complaining that it was too stiff.
では私たちも体育館に移動しましょうか。
You didn't hear that? Yeah, let's go.
私たちも中に入れるんですか？
Yeah. In fact, they encourage all of the students to attend as well.
そうなのですか？見たところ在校生の姿はほとんどないようですが。
Well, because it's a hassle. They don't force us, so most just head out.
あら、それはもったいないですね。せっかくの学校行事ですのに。ほんと。
The princesses were of the same mind, it seemed. Yeah, how very prim and proper. Seeing their enthusiasm towards school life was somewhat enlightening. This isn't compulsory education after all, so better get the most out of it. Okay then, let's go and support Luna. After the ceremony and Luna's orientation right after, we finally left campus. We finally left campus.
もうお腹ペコペコ。今日は朝ごはんしか食べてないから。
Yeah, and your breakfast is like a full day's meal for a full day's worth of food for Lucy.
当たり前じゃない。これからお昼を食べるのに。でも間におやつとか食べないとすぐにお腹空いちゃうよね。ねえ。
God damn it. You just don't enable Karen. They seem to be on the same page there.
私は完食もしないわね。おー、すごい。もしかしてだからプロポーションいいの？ふん。あ、でもこの場にいる人はみんないいか。
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the thing.
ルルちゃんだけが私の仲間だよ。ルル。はあ、こういうノリは嫌いだった？
Shibuyan was a little taken aback by Luna's stoicism. Luna's always cool and collected. That doesn't mean she doesn't like it, right?
ならよかった。
How was the orientation after the ceremony?
初耳のことが多くて興味深かったです。
I see. Luna had a fertile mind. Don't use that word. So she seemed to enjoy learning new things. Did you have any trouble? You're all alone in class, so I was a little worried about you.
大丈夫です。ルルちゃんのクラスは騒ぎになったりした？
Probably not.
騒ぎ？
Well,
想像しかったですが。
yeah, that's the thing. Their class was... Yuta's class was wild before they realized Yuta was their fiancés. So Luna's class and Yorihime's class would probably be as chaotic.
というか、私たちのクラスだと、なんていうか、注目の的だったからね。ですね。
Don't worry, give it a few days, and like they'll forget about it.
主に男子にチラチラ見られたようですが、注目という感じでもなかったです。新入生と転校生の違いかな。
Yeah, a lot of the first years were meeting each other for the first time. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
そんな時、幼なじみがいると心強いよね。
True.
男子にチラチラ見られたか。気持ちはわかるな。うん。
You know what? She is cute, so sure.
ああ、嘘だ。これはまさかな。まさかなと思いつつ質問なんだけど、より姫さんとルルちゃんの2人もウッシーの言い名付けだったりするの？
Maybe.
ウッシー？誰です？この人。
My last name is Ushio, so they call me Ushi at school. Because you're a fucking cow. Never mind.
うまそうな名前だよね。
What the heck gives you that idea?
その通りですよ。うん。
Both of them nod in unison. She doubted it. She said so obviously. She had to let it sink in for a moment.
こりゃ、ユナもうかうかしてられないじゃん。
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's actively, how do I say? She's letting them have all the advantages by letting them sit next to Yuta.
あ、ウッシーは聞かないでよ。
She hissed at me. I took a few steps back.
ルーチェたちはみんな同じクラスになったということですが、そちらではもうその話が出たのですか？ええ、席決めの時にちょっとね。なんか変な感じだったよ。変な感じ？クラスの男子、どす黒いような顔でハーハー言って犬みたいに舌を垂らしていたんだけど、ありゃどうしたんだろう。
Surely that's just hyperbole, right? Yorihime was at a loss for how to respond. Well, a bit exaggerated, but that's the gist of it.
何かの病気かしらね。
You guys are clueless when it comes to humans, aren't you?
あれはやっぱり一種の義憤だったのでしょうか。詐欺と言っている人もいましたし。
Well, they may have been a little angry. I'll give them that.
男のジェラシーだって。
Hibuyan and Yu-chan had finished chatting and hopped back into our talk.
単純にウッシーが羨ましかったんでしょ。はあ、そういうものでしょうか。
And they're gonna be a lot more jealous if they find out that Luna and Yorihime were also his fiancée. So don't you dare say anything, okay? Perhaps their lack of experience with boys was contributing, but it didn't seem to be clicking with the princesses. I hope nothing happens with the first and third year boys too. Things would get pretty dicey if I was the enemy of every guy in school. That's what I'm saying.
いらっしゃい。おお、みんなお揃いで。
おじさん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。
We put a few tables together and sat as a group. And that was only possible because we were regulars, although not when other customers were there. Karen made a comment once we made our orders.
それにしても結構学校って楽なもんなんだね。
No. That's just because it was the first day. Easy.
授業もっと大変かと思って私身構えていたんだけど、こんなんだったら楽勝だね。
This was the first day, so we don't actually have class. Tomorrow is a standard 6-hour day.
そうだったんだ。まあそれはそれで楽しいかな。行ってすぐに帰ってくるだけじゃつまんないもんね。
She only sulked for a second before looking on the bright side.
でもやっぱり勉強は嫌い。
Then she started sulking again.
かりんったら勉強から逃げてばかりいたのよね。逃げ足だけは早いこと。うるさいな。逃げる？教室から？
Nah, more like more like literally running away whenever she needed to study.
家庭教師から。ああ、かりんちゃんって家庭教師がついていたんだ。意外って言ったら失礼だけど勉強熱心なんだね。そんなことないけど。そう？
They weren't really understanding one another, but it seemed that Shibuyan thought she supplemented school with a tutor.
でも明日からはクラスメートも一緒になって授業を受けて、きっと一人の時よりも楽しくて勉強に身が入ると思いますよ。まあね。私も真面目に授業を受けないといけないわね。みっともないところは見せられないわよ。ルーチェって見えっ張りだよね。そういう問題ではないわよ。私にとっては身だしなみと似たような次元の話だわ。ルーチェっておしゃれっぽいもんね。髪型も凝ってるし。どうも。朝とか時間かかるでしょう。まあね。ただこういうことでは私時間を惜しまないから。
それにこのドーラが手早く仕上げますからな。
そ えば鳥が飲食店に入って大丈夫なの？
He gets an exception whenever there's no customers around. Well, if there's no other customers around.
そういう問題？
We got permission from the owner.
ならいいけど。でもこんな美人がいきなりうちにやってきて、ユーナの人気ナンバーワンの座もちょっと危ないかもしれないね。
またその話？
Number one?
だからユーナがうちの女子で人気ナンバーワンってことよ。
Oh? What? Is that true?
全然違うんだよ、ゆうくん。めぐみが適当に調べた信頼性ゼロの調査というか。
あら、言うじゃない。
なら一生懸命調べたの？
まあ、そうは言わないけどさ。でも人気があるのは本当よ。幼馴染としてウッシーも感じなかった？いくら名前がそうでも牛みたいに鈍感なわけじゃないでしょ。
Shut up. Now that you mentioned it, I had felt so at times. Yu-chan's popularity, like the name says, like the name thing. We were childhood friends, so we had nicknames for each other. Some guys were jealous of that. So lucky, Shirahase calls you Yukun. You get to call her Yu-chan. What? Go? But maybe we should have cute nicknames for each other. Ew. It hadn't seemed strange since I was a little kid, so it was hard for me to understand what they meant. And that other time, so lucky, you get to live next to Shirahase, and you two could talk about your talk from your windows too. I hate you. Not a. We should have been childhood friends, huh? Ew. My neighbor. It was like that since I was born, so it wasn't anything special for me. But the other guys at school would beg to differ. My oblivious self could at least deduce that much. Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful. Maybe our friendship had stood in the way of that realization. It was more a matter of caring or not. But as far as being conscious about it, of course I knew. Yu-chan was an amazingly beautiful girl. The scales fell from my eyes when she revealed it. She made a pact with me. Let's promise we'll get married. You and me. Let's pinky swear. Yeah, I guess I've noticed it before. Yu-chan laughed it off, but was flustered. She was always modest and reserved. It was a good virtue, but I thought that too much of a good thing was detrimental. No, too much of a good thing very much is detrimental.
で、ナンバーワンの座を争うみんなとしては、意気込みはどう？
If someone is too modest, it can get annoying very, very fast.
人気？私たちが学校の男子からという意味？そう。別にどうでもいいわね。あら、そういうの気にならないの？よく知らない人たちにどう思われようとね。
その割に見えっ張りじゃん。爪のお手入れしたり髪型に凝ったり。
見えではないわよ。それは女として当然のことでしょ。ガサツなカリンじゃあるまいし。
なんだと？
たった一人の男子のためだけでも自分を美しく保つことには十分意味があるんじゃないかしらね。
Lucy slowly peered over at me.
おお、美人が言うと説得力ありありだわ。
You can't be flirting with Yuta when one of the 7 girls at the table doesn't actually have a pact with him.
ユタもそう思う？
And might also be a potential gossiper. I suppose so. As a guy, it makes me happy. I can't lie.
そうなんだ。じゃあ、私もたまにはお化粧でもしてみようかな。ああいうの何で塗るの？指先？
No.
そんなわけないでしょ。ブラシよ。ブラシってハケのこと？
I mean, you can, but not.
より姫、今度教えてあげてちょうだいの。愉快な仮面をつけたみたいになってしまいそうよ。そうですね。かりんちゃん、お化粧するにしてもそれなりに練習しないと。そうなの？なんか面倒。じゃあ私はいいや。あっさりしてるな。ゆうたがやれって言うならちょっと頑張ってみるけど。
Oh shit, I didn't expect we'd get choices. You know what? A little makeup might be nice. I won't force you, but it might be nice to see with makeup.
そうなんだ。じゃあわかった。
Even if it would change literally nothing about her sprite.
まあやって損はないわよね。男子からの人気もアップしちゃうだろうし。男子からの人気。
Karen tilted her head sideways with a 100-yard stare. Shibuya knew she wouldn't get anywhere by asking.
じゃあゆりちゃんは？私は男子はちょっと怖いので、そういう風に注目されるのは正直嫌な感じがあります。あら、そうなんだ。なんかもったいない。ゆり姫さんは？そういう意味での人気はちょっと困ってしまいますね。ルルちゃんは？よくわからないです。あら、そう。揃いも揃って美人なのに、みんなその気がないんだね。
Well, yeah, because why would they want to go after another guy when they all are vying for Yuta?
結局みんな言い名付けしか眼中にないということなのよ。なるほどね。この幸せ者め。
You lucky fuck. How?
とはいえ、本人たちがそのつもりでも周りの男子は放っておかないだろうな、やっぱり。
You think it's impossible?
それはそうでしょう。今日だって目の色変えていたわけだし。
Yeah, I see. I just hoped there wouldn't be any trouble.
はい、お待たせ。
Our food came, so we put that decision to discussion on hold. That explains why the goofy music is here. Huh?
お化粧やってみたよ。
Oh boy. That's fine, but I want you to knock. Huh? A panda? What the fuck? Pardon me.
は
Bro, what is this self-censorship? The in-game censorship? Are you really, Karen?
なんで片言どうしたんだよユウタなんか様子が変だよ
Karen, remember what Yorihime said. Makeup requires practice.
うん
I like how under the mask there is literally no difference. But the fucking did you practice?
だって私練習とか好きじゃないし
Then it hit me. The things society considers normal for girls could actually be pretty hard. It went without saying that Karen gave up on makeup from that day on. Who would have guessed? 4-9. Morning.
おはよ
Ah, so sleepy.
う。夜更かしでもしたの？
Nah, I'm gonna try and be an early riser, but I'm so sleepy.
でも、この時間に起きないと遅刻だよ。
I guess. Yeah, you're right. I was just so bad with mornings. Up until the princesses arrived, I had never even been able to go to school with my own neighbor. Last year, I ran the coast path to school almost every day.
体力つきそうだよね。
Hey, it's just a good excuse to work out, alright? You said it. I had some obligation to Lucy and the others, considering this was their first time at school. So I was forcing myself to be good and get up in the morning.
走るのもいいけど、やっぱり余裕を持って出た方がいいよね。
Yeah, they mentioned it yesterday, but the view really is worth enjoying.
それもあるし、あと、やっぱり一緒に登校したいし。
Yeah, it's fun going as a group.
うん。でもね、私は去年だってゆうくんと一緒がいいなとか
Yeah.
思っていて。
And guess what? If only he was a morning person, because then you would have had an advantage over the other girls. But, now the only advantage you have is that your childhood friend, he doesn't even remember your pinky promise. Sorry, I'm not a morning person.
ううん。窓越しに起こしてあげればよかったかな。モーニングコール。
Nah, I highly doubt I would have heard you.
あとは、棒で壁をどんどんしてみるとか。
That would freak me out.
みんな来た。おはよ
Yu-chan waved her hand high above her head. More than anything, I didn't want to apologize because I wasn't a morning person. I wanted to apologize for never realizing how she felt. Yeah, it took you this long. But I understood where things stood. Haha. Not to mention that there were 5 other girls that were in love with me. I really need to pull it together.
おはよ
Yeah, you really need to lock in. You've got 6 choices. Yeah.
うおはようございますおはようおはようございますおはようです
Of course they do it like this. Morning, let's head out. After walking a bit, Dora spoke.
お嬢様本当に大丈夫でございますか炎天下歩いたりなどして大丈夫よどうだったら本当に心配性ね
I mean, if it's such a problem, it's not like they can't use an umbrella, right?
それはそうでございますな
にしろルーチェお嬢様はこのドーラがおしめまで取り替えた。なれば我が輩にとってはいつまでも。
唐突に脈絡のない話を始めないようにね。
御意にござります。
TMI. The burning sun. It's only April and it's not even hot.
気温は関係ありませぬ。この憎き太陽からの紫外線、これが問題なんでございますな。
Yeah, because she doesn't want her skin to tan. Oh, but I thought vampires weren't necessarily sensitive to the sunlight. It's not about her being a vampire, it's about her being a girl. That's what Lucy told me at least.
それは関係ありませぬ。が、皆され、ルーチェお嬢様の透き通るような白い肌を。
What'd I tell you?
いや、やはりユータ氏は見るでない。
God damn it. Make up your mind.
いやらしい目でお嬢様が汚れてしまうでござる。
It's what she wants. I wasn't staring like that.
確かに色白いいな。
太陽に弱いわけではないのだけど、吸血鬼界では夜に活動することが多いから。
Oh, right. When you first came here, you seemed so sleepy in the middle of the day.
あとルーチェってうちん中で遊ぶのが好きだったもんね。
I thought
だから生っ白いんだよな。
he was gonna say, "Oh, right. The first time we met was nighttime. Was at night."
生っ白いとは随分な言い草じゃない。
Like
この
literally
輝くような肌に向かって。
3 a.m. Right.
すぐそういうこと自分で言うんだから。事実ですもの。日傘を差してみるのもいいかもしれないですね。
See? That's what I said. Well, I said umbrella, but sure. Same
ちょ
thing.
っと面倒で。
You have Dora to carry it for you.
じゃあ帽子？
You're just gonna gloss over the fact that Dora would carry it for you?
セットが乱れてしまうから。面倒なやつだな。
These are very... A hat would also be good. Just wear sunscreen, okay? If it's that big of a problem.
あのね、ドーラが言っているだけで私は別に気にしていないんだから。光を反射する目には見えないマジックアイテムを頭上に仕掛けることも可能です。
That doesn't sound like a good idea. Magic, let's not. I don't want us getting into any trouble. I don't think you should... She already... Look, her skin is white. It already reflects enough sunlight off of her. We don't want every ray of sunlight reflecting off of her. In worst case scenario, it would blind her. Best case scenario, it would blind us. Worst case scenario, it would blind her, because there wouldn't be any light coming into her eyes. That's why that's a problem with invisibility, right? That power.
それにですな、問題は太陽光だけではないのでございます。
But then again, she's probably referring to, like, the ultraviolet rays, right? So maybe she can still see, but then again, it's the same thing of, everyone around her would, you know, be significantly hotter. I looked at Lucy, but she just shrugged it with reluctant acceptance.
こうして歩くことでござる。ルーチェお嬢様が城の外に出られるとなれば、必ず馬車を用意していましたからな。
A horse-drawn carriage. I can see it now.
それだってかえって面倒な話だったのよ。こうして2本の足があるのだから 歩いた方がいいわね。
Yeah, and we don't have carriages, we have cars.
しかしですな、吸血鬼の王女ともあろうお方がテクテク地べたを歩くなど。
ここは吸血鬼の住む世界ではないわよ。聞いてよみんな。
So this is why she isn't full like Himedere, right? Because a Himedere would be Dora, right? The way Dora wants Lucy to be is what a Himedere would be, right? In her fucking horse-drawn carriage, or like wearing carrying a parasol so that the sunlight doesn't cause your skin to tan or whatever. A mixture of annoyance and amusement could be heard in Lucy's voice.
どうだったら昨日馬車を用意しようとしたの。
馬車？そういうサービスを頼もうとしたってこと？
なのかしらね。私が言ってやめさせたのだけど。
もったいない。ちょっと乗ってみたかったな、馬車。
Everyone would freak out seeing a horse-drawn carriage rolling into school.
それもそっか。
I mean, it's definitely a statement.
ユータの案内で街に出てみたとき、馬車を見かけることがなかったから。きっとだからといって
通学の際、お嬢様のおみ足に傷でもつくようなことがあったら、一体何とするべきか。それもそっか。
Wrong thing.
ユータの案内で街に出てみたとき、馬車を見かけることがなかったから、きっとこちらでは使わないのだろうなと思ったのよ。
ほんと過保護なんだから。
The closer we got to school, the more students we saw. And simultaneously, I could feel the curious stares increasing as well. Well, we were expecting this. And you're gonna be expecting that every single day from now on. I wish school would just revert back to normal. I mean, theoretically it should, right? After... This is how it normally is, right? After the hype of a transfer student is like for like a whole around a month or so, everything just goes back to normal, right? It becomes the new norm. It's not as attention grabbing anymore. Although the saving grace was that the princesses didn't seem too phased by it. Well, because the students aren't attacking them, yeah. Except Julie. Well, there was one. Yu-chan was a student before, so she didn't really count. Are you still nervous?
はい、そうですね。
It'll become normal soon enough. For the other students, that is. See? Like I just said, it'll become more normal after like a month or so, right, at most, and people won't stare as much, right? And the stares will end before you know it.
はい。
He gets it.
それでは私はここで。
Bye. Let's all meet up here and go get lunch.
そうしましょう。
We left Yorihime after establishing a meeting place. Okay, we're on this floor. See you at lunch.
バイバイ。おはよう。ウシもおはよ
Okay, this time, the timetable actually matters. Morning. We'll also get to see how Karen fares during normal school activities. Yeah.
う。あれ？そういえばなんか珍しい。
What isn't?
ウッシーが朝にちゃんと来るの。去年とかいつも走って飛び込んでこなかったっけ？
Every single day. Yeah, pretty much. But this year there's the girls' end. Oh, right. No one knew yet that they all lived behind my house. Somehow, it just completely slipped Shinobu's... Wait. I forgot her name already. It's Megumi Shibu... What? Never mind. Megumi's mind that somehow she didn't notice anything strange when she went to the fucking Honeydew Cafe. Yesterday after lunch, Shibuya... Okay, yeah, Shibuya. Like, it's because it's the fucking city as well. It's the name of the city as well. Had some things to do at home, so she left. Ah, of course. When we left the Honeydew, I thought we talked about it, but we must not have. I'll keep it under wraps for now. Probably a good idea. You don't want to add any more fuel to the fire, okay? And plus, now that I'm a second year, being almost late all the time is pretty pathetic. Okay, Yuta, sure.
関係あるの？受験のある3年生ならまだしも。
でも悪いことじゃないよね。
そりゃあね。
遅刻ですと？実際情けない男ですな、ゆうたしも。
Hey, with how they have talked about it, he wasn't late. He was just barely on. He was just barely on time. Okay, it's different. It's.
こら、私の言い名付けに失礼な口を聞くのではないと何度言ったらわかるの？
申し訳ございませぬ。
And how come you've never said this to him before? What? This is like the first time she's ever said that exact sentence. What? Did you have to reference that Yuta was your fiancé in front of the whole class? You do not want you do not want to keep reminding them. It'll just put a bigger target on his back.
実際何なのかな、ドーラのこの賢さって。
Yeah. What's up with Dora? Lucy and I shot Dora a glare, and it seemed the gravity of the situation got through. Dora started shrieking like a broken record to save face.
実際情けない男ですな、ゆうたしは。実際情けない男ですな、ゆうたしは。
Friggin' little bat.
なんとかの一つ覚えのように繰り返しているだけでござる。何しろ我が輩旧館長。
Yes, you also repeat that sentence, just right there. Didn't hear that.
普通に喋ってるわ。
I don't know why you clarified yourself, because your clarification wouldn't make any sense. Shibuya wasn't having any of it. What the hell's that supposed to be? Dora was trying to crawl out of this hole with a terrible bird impression.
まあこのコウモリ、いえ、旧館長は特別性なのよ。あまり気にしないでちょうだいな。
I mean, you could say that. It's like, here's the thing. Albino, like, any animal with an albino variation is always like the most rare, right? When you think of shiny Pokemon, right? That's kind of the same thing, right? A bat that is white would be an extremely rare species, mostly because they do not work when it comes to stealth, because they're, you know, nocturnal. So they reflect the most fucking light.
ピキピキ。ドーラもそうしていると可愛いんだけど。
Dora claimed to be the shopping district's mascot, and it just happened, it just might have been true. Once the bell rang, Oishi I'm not saying it. Oishi shuffled in. Being in class early and welcoming the teacher was kind of an odd sensation.
おはようございます。では座ってくださいよ。
Same as last year, the chatter didn't cease at all. So that's how he was able to get away with coming to class late, I mean, because Oishi just doesn't care. He doesn't care enough. He didn't scold anyone, but rather sheepishly waited for it to calm down. He just has no authority. Maybe he was actually ill. He always looked peakish? Sure.
ゆうたさん。
Julie quietly addressed me. Why does she look mad?
学校ってこういうものなのでしょうか。先生が来ても死後が収まらないような。
No, it isn't the norm. Or she's just taken advantage of by these students, that's why. I, of course, whispered the latter half.
そうなのですか。
That's why there were brackets around it. Julie mumbled to herself and watched Oishi with a concerned look. Fuck. Come on, people! Let's hurry up and sit down! Yikes. The class leader of the day managed to settle everyone down. It was last year all over again. The first class to commemorate a new year was, of course, math. Fuck. Of course there aren't any other teachers in this school with a sprite. Let's begin with a review of where we left off last year. Sure, let's go with that. We ended with second order integer factorization. Fuck. Right. The third order is just around the corner, so you better get this. Review, huh? I didn't even need to be here. That might be a factor in my poor grades, ironically. But this time around, I was more concerned about something other than class itself. Are you looking at Karen? I checked to my right first. Lucy stared intently at the blackboard. Next to my left. Julie too was concentrating with all her might. But Karen behind her was... Yep. As expected. Her face was virtually a mask of wanton laziness. Then her eyes met mine and she smiled with the corner of her mouth. She needed to be a little more careful with her voice in class. What is it? Amagi, do you have a question? In an instant, she was the focus of class.
なんでもないです。
It seemed like Karen even realized that she kind of blew it there. Okay, this formula of factorization here. Don't tell me any of you forgot it now.
真面目に授業を受けなさいよ。だって全然わかんないんだもん。
Yeah, that's expected.
ちょっと内容が違うみたいだね。けれど全然異なるわけではないみたいだから、ちゃんと聞いていればわかるようになるわよ。
Lucy ignored Karen's attitude and went back to paying attention. I could tell Julie was also diligent by nature, so Karen was all alone. I'll tutor you on anything you don't understand, although I'm not exactly an A student. I tried to cheer her up, but I could tell her willpower was slipping. Yeah, this is the first period. Fuck, do I have to do this? I'm gonna run out of voices. I've already run out of voices. How, how do you know the commerce? How do we know the commerce of the Jomon period? We identify earthen resources originated from a specific location used to make tools and see how widespread they were. Gee, what a fucking sentence. We can then get an idea of the range in which items were traded. The Jomon period was a surprisingly far-reaching trade route. Had a surprisingly far-reaching trade route. Period 2 was Japanese history. and I saw Karen earnestly taking notes. Oh, so she's found a spark. I was impressed, so I took a peep, only to immediately facepalm. Yeah, she's not taking notes. Doodling. As expected. She was doodling beards on people in her textbook. The third period was English. All of a sudden, the teacher looked over toward us. That open seat there. Amagi? Huh? I spun around and sure enough, Karen was gone. She was supposed to be here, yes? The teacher mumbled as he checked the attendance sheet. The restroom, perhaps? I doubt anyone would attempt to ditch on the first day. The teacher sounded fed up and continued class without skipping a beat. The restroom?
特に何も言っていなかったのですが。
Right.
まったくかりんたらしょうがないわね。
Lucy seemed convinced she had ditched. I guess I couldn't deny the possibility. 10 minutes had passed and Karen was still missing. Class couldn't just be held up by for one student ditching, so we were progressing normally. This isn't good. I bet she did. I couldn't focus on class myself as I was becoming increasingly anxious. Any transfer student would be fostered on their first day, but to make matters worse, Karen was from another world entirely. I didn't blame her for not being up to date with the material, and moreover, she was livelier than most. She couldn't sit still and pay attention. It was obvious, just looking at her in class. I bet she just decided to run away. That's not good. Not good at all. This was a chance to finally attend school. I wanted her and everyone else to enjoy it. Alright. I made a decision and stood up. What is it, Ushio? Sensei, my stomach... What? Your stomach? I keeled over in what was probably an overreaction, as if I had massive stomach pain. It just started hurting. Can I please go to the infirmary? The infirmary? The teacher smirked suspiciously. Ow, ow, ow. It's an emergency. I can't hold it. I could hear a couple of stifled chuckles at my terrible performance. Guess I have no choice. Go ahead, but be back as soon as possible. I will. I'm sorry. Phew. Where the heck did she go? Karen. There was no way she could know the layout of the school already. I figured she wouldn't stay in the building though, so I went straight outside. This courtyard was peaceful and felt refreshing with no people around. I could hear the voices of the PE class over from the field. Oh, okay. Some falling leaves caught my eye and I looked up. The caretaker or something. Apparently not. Oh my god. I'm not no. Punya.
今度からは気をつけるんだぞ。たまたま私がいたからいいけど。
Meow. Karen, what are you doing?
あ、ユウタ
She wiggled her legs from the branch and smiled down at me.
あれどうしたのもう授業終わり
Class is far from over.
うーん
I thought you might have ditched, so I pretended to be sick to get out of class.
ああそうだったんだ
So you're ditching? She nodded deeply, oblivious to her behavior. What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do with you?
だってつまんないんだもん授業わかんないし
To be honest, I will give her credit for not ditching second period, alright? What's with the cat? Luna was chasing after one yesterday too. Maybe they had taken up residence here. There definitely weren't any cats in school before.
うんなんかね降りられなくなっていたから助けてあげたんだ
That happens sometimes apparently.
あとねなんかちょっと拗ねているみたいこの猫
Angry?
うん名前はトラオっていうみたいなんだけど
I was convinced it was a stray, but I guess not. Either way, it was puzzling that Karen knew the cat's name. I was more concerned about something else, though. Karen, I think you'd better get down soon. I'll take the cat for you. I leaned up against the trunk, ready for her to carefully inch down. She's gonna jump. But Karen, with cat in hand, leapt off the branch and nimbly landed on the ground. Whoa, that was pretty high. Karen wasn't phased as she let the cat run off.
じゃあねトラオ元気出すんだぞ
Meow.
やっぱり元気ない
Karen turned to face me after the cat was out of sight.
ゆうた
What?
嬉しいよわざわざ私のこと探しに来てくれるなんて
She rammed her forehead into mine affectionately. It's not like I didn't like the sincere affection, but I need to tell her sooner rather than later. Karen, I have something to talk to you about. Let's go up to the roof.
屋上
Yeah? That piqued her interest for some reason.
屋上って言ったら告白やったゆうたにとうとうお前が好きって言ってもらえるんだ
Why would you know the typical anime storyboard? Why are you able to go onto the roof? Wrong. I pinched her ears gently, and as I started walking. Not that. I just need to talk about something important.
大事な話
The place doesn't really matter. I just want to do it in private. Let's just go.
うん
I definitely felt wary of my surroundings while walking through the empty hall. We tried to be as I forgot how to pronounce it, as possible, so we made our way up the staircase to the roof. Up the staircase to the roof.
おー学校の屋上ってこんな風になっていたんだ
I mean, it's a lot more lively than most anime rooftops and anime school rooftops. Yeah, yep, pretty cool place, huh? But they've still got the fucking... They've still got the fences. I wonder what those are for. The school had converted it into a kind of botanical garden. Students were free to come and go to relax.
ねえねえゆうたあれは
The reason I tell... by the way, if you don't know, the fences are there to stop students from killing themselves. So, the just... It is... Let's just say, what's the word I would come up... what's the word I would say? Morbid? let's go with that. That's a greenhouse. I think the gardening club manages it.
中に入ってもいいの？
We can, but let's do it another time. I want to talk to you now.
あ、
Look, it's not like I'm saying that something happened at the school, like in the history of the school being around, right? Maybe it's like a mandated thing that all Japanese schools have to have. But, you know. We sat down in a patch of grass. It's an eyesore, to say the least. So, what I wanted to talk to you about. Karen, if you keep ditching class, you're gonna fall further and further behind. In grades and in the marriage candidacy. I'm not trying to convince you to study your brains out or anything. Just, you're gonna have to get used to the fact that we spend the majority of our time at school in class. You're looking forward to enjoying school, right?
あ、うん。
Well, I also want you to enjoy your time here at school. I looked at her sternly to drive the point home. For some reason, the voices from the PE class seemed further away than they really were. But if you keep running away from the long classes, you'll come to hate what you could have enjoyed. So it's essential to start off with a bang. If you stumble now, you'll just be more lost every day. Here I was lecturing her on the exact thing I had disregarded from my teachers for so long. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? And if that happens, there's no fun at all, right? Karen nodded feebly. So, at the very least, let's do enough in class to enjoy the rest of our time here. My hand kind of hovered around for a bit before landing on her shoulder. The reason I hesitated was because she was a girl. But Karen immediately put her hand over mine, making my shyness seem laughable. Her palm felt so soft on my hand.
わかった。勉強とか別に好きじゃないけど、でも一人でサボっていても確かにつまんないもんね。
Yeah.
それに教室にいればユータの顔も見ていられるし。
I scratched my head in bashfulness. You'd better look at the blackboard, not my face. Yeah, I don't know why you chose to sit in front of Yuta when you could have used the excuse of sitting behind him to look at his face, right? You're like, no, I'm not looking at Yuta's face, I'm looking at the blackboard. But like, you have to actively turn around to see Yuta. So, there's no excuse there. I smiled at her once more, and pulled my hand away. Some heat still lingered there where her hand had touched mine. If we return now, it's kind of pointless.
ユータ。
I looked up from my phone.
ありがとう。私にちゃんと言ってくれて。
Karen's red face was too cute. Much more pleasant than when she hugged me beneath the tree. Well, I have some responsibility, you know. I averted my eyes as I said that.
義務？
It was the same way I felt, I needed to get up earlier. It was the same way I felt I needed to get up earlier. I don't know how to fix that sentence. I need to support them in their student endeavors. But could I just chalk it up to a sense of responsibility? I examined Karen's face, which was still contorted in confusion at the mention of responsibility. I felt like it transcended that. I was sure that at this point, that I was starting to have feelings for Karen and everyone else. That's what was propelling me forward. Never mind, it's nothing. I lay down flat on the grass, gazing up at the sky.
ユータ？
Let's just hang out here until 4th period starts. Playing hooky on occasion was fine. This was my first time actually doing it, and having a go with me just made it seem unreal.
ひなたぼっこ
Well, there's the CG. Karen snuggled up next to me and turned her smiling face so she was staring at me. We laid together, eyes locked. It was a little embarrassing. So I pretended to sleep by closing my eyes. I wonder what she's gonna do.
やっと終わったよ
Never mind, I thought she was gonna do something when he closed his eyes. The class leader of the day signaled us to bow to the teacher, who then left the room. Karen collapsed on her desk. Her ears are twitching. I hope no one sees.
何だらしない声出してるのよ。
だって疲れたんだもん
Karen lifted her face and snarled at Lucy.
どうして疲れることがあるのよ。3時間目はどこかに消えて、教室にいる時だってろくに聞いてもいなかったくせに。
座っているだけでも疲れる
Karen sounded so serious when saying that. Karen sounding so serious while saying that made me and Julie laugh through our noses. Lucy just shook her head in hopelessness.
ほんと、しょうがないわね。
あれみんなはどこ行くの
She looked at the students slowly filing out of class. Lunch.
そっか今からご飯だったんだごは
途端に元気になるんだから。
おーい何してるんだよ早く行こうよ
はいはい。
Let's go, Yu-chan.
私もいいよね
Man, there's always a third wheel. Fifth wheel? Yeah, that's at this point. Wait. Yuta, Yuna, Lucy, Julie. She's a 6th wheel. Yeah. Shibuyan had seamlessly fallen in with our group. It's why did it have to be another girl? The guys in the class, however, had no entry point and could only stare with longing, piercing eyes. Glaring isn't helping people. At least if there was another guy, the glaring wouldn't be focused only on Yuta, right? I hope things settle down soon. We met up with Yorihime and Luna in the hall and went as a group to the cafeteria on the 1st floor.
ここが食堂なんだいい感じ
But now she's an 8th wheel.
へえ、なかなか洒落た空間なのね。
Lucy looked around, happily surprised.
ご飯もたくさんありそう
Karen was happy about something entirely different.
そうでもないよ。うちの食堂メニューに乏しくて。
メニュー
You were just talking about quantity, Karen?
そうそうたくさん食べられるよね
そりゃ注文すれば出てくるけどさ。
学校の食堂ではどういう風に注文すればいいのでしょうか
カウンターの脇で食券を買って、それをまかないの人に渡すの。
食券
自動販売機みたいな機械。
なるほ
めぐみの言うようにメニューはあんまりないんだけど、ただ日替わりっていうのがあるから。
Let's go before it sells out. We all went to the ticket machine together. Before the princesses arrived, I'd eaten either alone or with a few friends. It was like night and day being here with a squad of beautiful girls. So you didn't even eat with Yuna when you were... Okay.
トマトジュースはないのね。
そんなにトマトジュースが好きなの？
Well, yeah, because it's the closest thing to blood that you can drink without it actually being blood.
まあ、じゃあそうね。あまり食べたことのないおうどんにしようかしら。ね
えねえゆうた、これ全部頼んでもいいの？
You can certainly try. Sure, but you'll get sick.
そう？
I don't think you have time. You'd virtually just be stuffing food into your mouth at high speed.
そう。じゃあ私、日替わりとお蕎麦にしよっと。
You still ordered 2 meals.
私も日替わりにします。
Hey, listen. It's still less than... I forgot the guy's name in Riddle Joker. Not the main character, but like the guy that people kept confusing as a girl, right? Because he was the femboy of the group. He would eat like 3 times as much as any other character. So, you know.
私は焼き魚定食にしようかな。私はチャーシュー麺。
We all quickly bought our tickets, but Luna stared blankly at the machine. Can't decide.
どういう仕組みです？この機械。
Yeah, I knew she'd be interested in the intricacies of how the machine worked. Just forget about that for now.
迷ったのも事実です。どれにしようかな。
You'd landed on curry rice.
カレーライス。スパイスの組み合わせの妙が魔法を思わせていいです。
Sure, I would think baking would be closer to magic when it comes to cooking, but baking and cooking can technically be considered different. So, yeah, sure. Okay. I got a katsudon and headed to the counter as well.
ゆうと、これは？
Lisa looked up over the counter. There were a few signs: noodles, rice bowls / curry, set lunch. The place you give your ticket varies depending on your lunch. I explained it as simply as I could to the princesses. We finally sat down to eat.
おー、結構うまいじゃん。
Also, like, what is this fancy schmancy fucking food options you can get at this cafeteria? You've got fucking katsudon, curry rice, udon, ramen. What the... What? You are ordering from a cafeteria, not a fucking restaurant. Excuse me? This is some private school ass shit. How much do you pay to get to apply to the school? I bet his parents... I'm not surprised his parents are loaded, but, you know, this daily special was a hamburger steak. Okay. I should have gotten that. Eating with a lot of people, I could check out what they got. That was fun in its own way.
おうどんもなかなか美味しいわね。
Aaron's chopsticks launched over like missiles. Lucy's chopsticks intercepted them beautifully.
ちょっと、これしか具がないというのに何を奪おうとしているのかしら。
Of course there were optional toppings. Because how can you make udon more fancy?
いいじゃん。ルーチェどうせダイエットでしょ。
ダメに決まってるでしょ。
It's because it's not even like a thing you like can't customize, right? It's not like okay, you ordered the udon, this is what you're getting. If you don't like something on it, tough shit, right? But of course, no, you're allowed to customize it as well.
油揚げうまそう。今のすごいバトルだ。あ、サーマもうまそう。
Uh-oh. Careful.
これしかおかずがないからね。
Even Julie had her defenses up against Karen.
かりんちゃんと食べるときは同じものを頼んだ方がいいかもしれませんね。
Yeah.
ほんと。
カレーも美味しいです。
The menu is simple, so the flavor is on point here. Simple?
ほんと美味しいですね。
I guess in the variety you can consider it simple, but like you would expect this in a restaurant in a restaurant, not a school cafeteria.
ニコニコしているとこっちまで嬉しくなってくるな。私はもう慣れちゃったから。
It doesn't help that the only other comparison I can make out of the visual novels that I've played and recorded for my YouTube channel that have a school cafeteria in it is fucking Riddle Joker, which was also very fucking premium top tier food shit. Like that school had 5 cafeterias with different theming to them. So, you know, we've been eating here for a while, but something about today added some more zest to the usual flavor. It was definitely because we ate together.
それで3時間目はどこに行っていたの？
最初は木。
Karen explained the situation, and Lucy nodded understandingly.
それでもともとはどういうつもりだったの？
To get the fuck out of Dodge.
サボり。
やっぱりね。
That's another way to say it.
ゆうたさん、あの時お腹が痛いと言って教室を出て行きましたけど。
That was an act. I was just concerned for Karen.
ああ、やっぱりそうだったんですね。
You're gonna make the other girls jealous.
さすがはゆうたさんですね。
Nah.
でも本当だよ。私、ゆうたに惚れ直しちゃった。お、ストレートだな。
But weren't you in love with Yuta before? What happened? The bustling cafeteria was unusually quiet at Karen's blatant proclamation. Of course it was. Got unusually quiet. Les focused on us from all directions, but Karen was as oblivious as could be.
フッシーも大変でしょ。モテない男子に早速睨まれたりしてるんじゃないの？
You know when I said that it would all blow over in like a month or so? The fact that they keep talking about it is definitely not helping. Some boys walking past shot me another glare. Nah. Well, I guess I'm fine with it. I looked at Julie, timidly observing the onlookers as I was a little worried for her. Was this my sense of responsibility too? No, probably not.
それで4時間目はおとなしく授業を受けていた。というかおとなしく座ってはいたようだけど、サボりはもうあれっきりにするの？
サボっても結局つまんないし。
そう、まあその方がいいわね。
Yeah, just make sure not to point out the talking to you had from Yuta. you know, the private time you had with Yuta, that definitely didn't escalate to anything. I'm gonna stop right there.
ええ、せっかく学校に来ているわけですし。わからないところがあったら言ってね。可能な限り教えるから。ありがとう。さっきの話ですが、あの猫の名前、トラオって言うです？みたい。あの猫の名前はトラオ。名前は大事。ルルーナ覚えたです。
Did she refer to herself in the third person? The text doesn't say it, but I heard her say Luluna. So.
マテリアルにはしないでね。
Wait, she isn't even gonna say, like, I wasn't thinking about it. Luluna. Don't use live animals as material.
マテリアル？なんでも。
He's a scientist, wink. Wait, so how did you know a stray cat's name anyway? I thought that Karen explained that she could talk to animals, or is that in my headcanon?
それは。
Karen started to talk, but looked curiously at Shibuyan.
まあ、そんな気がしたってだけ。なんか、いかにもトラオって感じじゃない？あの猫。
Okay then. She played it safe and didn't say anything revealing about Shibuyan. Around Shibuyan. I didn't press the issue either.
ルーチェお嬢様に後片付けをさせるなど、どうにも許しがたく思えるでござる。
Yeah, Dora. It seemed like Shibuyan had given up commenting on Dora. All cleaning up meant was taking the tray in to the return area near the restroom.
別にいいのよ。そういう当たり前のことが今の私には楽しく感じられるわね。
Yeah, that's very unhumidary like.